Welcome to Pharaonic Guardian, where the rules are made up and the secrets don't matter. I wish I was joking. Ring of Destruction is probably the best holo in the set, outside of maybe like Mirage of Nightmare. This set has a lot of good cards at the common and rare slot, which is really good for a format like this, where we're not going to see a whole lot of the super rares and secret rares and ultra rares. Sasuke Samurai is okay. Really small, though. This set introduces a lot of the cards that can flip themselves face down and then flip back face up for an effect, but they don't go off when they're flipped up because they're attacked. So maybe like Josh or Kyle will run them since they're running slower decks. Yeah, Great Dizard, Fugio Richie goes with that one, and they're just awful. Guardian Sphinx is okay if you're using a slower deck that can control the game and actually get its effect off multiple times. Pyramid Turtle finally gives us the summoner for zombies. Dice Jar I can see Josh using. He likes stuff with dice. Don Zalug is kind of white magical hat. There's Fugio Richie. The book cards are all here. Book of Life is just Monster Reborn plus Called by the Grave for zombies. Book of Tayo flips a monster face down, or flips it face up, then Book of Moon flips it face down. Mirage of Nightmare is really good once we get some back row removal. For those of you that don't know, during your opponent's standby phase, you draw until you have 4 cards, and then during your standby phase, you have to discard the same number of cards that you drew. It's really busted if you can get rid of it before the discard, which in this situation, we probably can't. But yeah, some of, like, Needle Sealing is really good, Raigeki Break is good, Trap Dust Shoot is great. Reckless Greed is good in certain decks. Dark Geroid and Newdoria are fine. Newdoria is just kind of a bigger Maneater bug. That's not a flip effect, it's just when he's destroyed by battle, he gets to destroy another monster. The Gravekeepers are introduced in this set. I almost missed them. The two that will probably see play are Spy and Guard. Just as Spy can special summon another one, and Guard can bounce a monster. Necro Valley will be good to have for later. It's a super rare though, so maybe we'll get like one. Spirit Reaper is good for walling up. He can't be destroyed by battle, and on the rare occasion that you do get to hit in with him, he discards a random card from your opponent's hand. Reasoning is a good card in certain decks. I don't know if any of us will be playing it, because we're mostly playing like level 3 or 4 monsters. There's Necro Valley. Terraforming is here. It's at 1. There aren't really any field spells that we would be searching right now. Metamorphosis is a good card. I don't know how useful it'll be right now, but getting a copy of that would be great. There's a Raigeki Break. There's my wife. Question is a fun troll card, and Lava Golem is essentially the first kaiju in the game. With that all out of the way, let's go and crack some packs. Before we get into Pharaonic Guardian, we of course get 3 prize packs from Legacy of Darkness. Let's see what we got here in the first one. Dark Balter the Terrible. Now I actually kind of want Metamorphosis. Alright. Here goes number 2. Super rejuvenation. Other than that, nothing really. And then the last one, a Fiend Skull Dragon. Another good level 5 fusion. I think it's also more copies of Bad Reaction. Alright, now it's time for the main attraction. Pharaonic Guardian, 24 packs. Reasoning, and a copy of Kyle. Trap those shoes is nice. There's Metamorphosis. So I think we got pretty much all the one-ups that we're looking for here. Now I just need to get some right breaks and book of moons. Spirit Reaper. Alright, and I'll Terraform after I got that one. We got a Lava Golem. I don't know if I should play that or not. I don't know if I have removal for it once it's on their field. I guess we'll see what we pull. Break these hard. The second Reckless Read. Oh. First Raigeki break halfway through. Let's super break Keeper Sheet. He's not good. He's not going to play. But I'm happy to see Raigeki break. Just need 2 more of those. There's a Needle Ceiling. It's kind of a Torrential Tribute if the board's full. Second Spirit Reaper and second Raigeki break. Alright. Third Raigeki break. Cool. A Robe of Life. I think it's like 800 life points and discard your hands and Monster Reborn. I remember playing it back in the day. Oh, Kyle. And a Needle Ceiling. There's a few more packs left. Holy crap, a second Lava Golem. I don't know what to do here. Oh, I'm gonna have to think. Alright, last pack. Alright, so... yeah, no Book of Moon, but, 2 Lava Golem? Oh... I got some thinking to do. Alright, we're back with the deck. Oh man, this was hard. Alright, so we kept the Barrel Dragon in. I initially had taken it out, and then realized that I'm probably going to have more Tribute fodder than before, so it'll probably be live more often than it was. Kept the Bazoo. There's not, like, a lot to banish, which I realized last time, but it is good to just make it big. It can get over things. Cyberjar is still clutch. Just a good field wipe. Exiled Force, good for spot removal, at least for now. It does kind of suck wasting the normal summon on it, but it's still just good removal in case I need to get rid of something that I added to the deck. Gearfried, still good for equip, especially if Kyle's still running Kisaitai. Added in the Gravekeeper's package, so it's 1 guard and 3 spy. The guard is just a large Hane. The spies summon each other, though. I think it would be a little more helpful if it could special summon it face down. But either way, that's fine. If they swing into it, it's a 2k wall. Chances are they're not going to be swinging over it right away. So I'll have 2 monsters. Then if I have Barrel Dragon, boom. Kept 1 Hysteric Fairy. It's 1800. I haven't used the life point gain effect. But who knows, maybe it'll come up. I added in the 2 Lava Golem. I don't know how this is going to go. I kind of like the idea of just giving them a Lava Golem and then walling up with Spirit Reaper. But who knows if that'll even happen. 2 Magician of Faith. I still have a lot of powerful spells. and I'm actually running a lot more flip effects now than I have in a while. I kept the 2 Spear Dragon, the biggest speeder in my deck. 2 Spirit Reaper just to wall up. It can't be destroyed by battle, so if I give them a Lava Golem and just put it in defense mode, they can't get past it without something else. I kept the 3 Sky Scout. Not much to explain there. The spell lineup didn't change outside of getting rid of, I think, a couple things. So we still have the Cold Wave, Confiscation, and then the removal package, Dark Hole, Triple Fissure, and a Raigeki. Swords of Revealing Light, especially if they have Lava Golem, that's a free 3,000 burn. I increased the traps by a lot. So we still have Dust Tornado, we still have Imperial Order and the Magic Drains, still the Mishizure. Then I added in 3 Needle Sealing and 3 Raigeki Break. Needle Sealing is kind of like Torrential once there are a certain amount of monsters on field. I'm assuming it'll come up. If it doesn't, I can always side it out for something else. Raigeki Break is just straight up more removal. The discard kind of sucks, but it can get rid of anything. The side deck did undergo a bit of a change. Still the 3 4-star Ladybug of Doom. It came in really clutch in the last finals against Caleb. I moved the Zombiras into the side. They can't attack directly, but they are still 2100. So if I find out that somebody is running a lot of like 2k walls, I can side him in over, say, like the Hysteric Fairy or the Sky Scouts. Giant Trunade for back row, the 2 Prohibition, which have been pretty nuts. I moved the Spiritualism into the side. It's not great, but it can still get rid of like a Fairy Box or something for a turn. The Grave Robber, Mask of Restrict, Royal Command, and Royal Oppression are all still here. Special Summoning is probably going to become more frequent soon, so I'd like to keep this in here and not risk forgetting that I have it. And then I moved the Trap Dust Shoot into the side. I want to main deck this really bad, but I think Caleb and I are the only 2 that tend to hold cards in our hand. Josh especially will set his whole hand, even if it's just all normal spells. So in a situation like that, if he's going first, it's just going to be a dead card the entire duel. So I'd rather keep it in the side and then just bring it in when I know I'm going first. I really wanted to play Metamorphosis, and then realized that all of my good targets are level 5 and up. I don't want to be playing that many tributes in this deck just to run Metamorphosis and some neat fusions. Hopefully in the future I'll be able to use it more, but at least for now it's in the collection. It's there if I want to use it. But this is what we're going to take into this episode. Hopefully it works as well as I think it will, but it could also crash and burn like the Shield and Sword. Let's find out.
Alright, so our Cyclops versus Avian Kurzero match. He starts by activating Terraforming and taking his Yami. He sets a card, then he passes his turn. I set 2 cards and pass my turn. He sets a card and summons Opticlops. He then plays Yami, giving a 200 boost to all fiends and spellcasters. And I actually activate Magic Cylinder and burn him for 2k. During my turn, I summon a Dark Geroid, which then turns his Opticlops to a 1200, and I flip summon my other Dark Geroid. I swing 1400 into his 1200, but he gains it instead. And then he gets his terraforming back off Moth, fissures away one of my Dark Geroids. I'm not even going to attempt to say that spell. Then he sets a card. I top deck a Pot of Greed. I draw 2. Set a card. Book of Tayo. I flip his card. I Monster Reborn the Dark Geroid back after it got popped from the Scarabs, sacrifice it for the Time Eater, swing the Time Eater into the Scarabs. Time Eater's effect goes off, which skips his next main phase. So now he's locked out of battle phase in a way because he's not able to summon during the draw phase, standby phase, main phase, or battle phase. So he goes right into main phase 2. I attempt to do it again, but he has 2100 defense and he returns me to the hand. So that was unfortunate. He summons Newdoria. I get smacked for 14 here. I summon my Newdoria and crash Newdoria's. He sets, passes his turn. I draw, play another Newdoria, call the Haunted my Newdoria, and summon the Time Eater again. Swing Time Eater into Moth, skipping his next main phase again. I Raigeki break him. Swing Time Eater into the face down. And Newdoria for 14. This is where he goes Gravekeeper Servant, and I have to start discarding. I believe that's the one where I discard, right? Oh, I mill. Alright, so I'm milling off the top of my deck, and I mill a Jinzo there. Skip another main phase, and then I take round 1. Round 2, he goes first, sets 2, and passes. I also set 2 and pass my turn. He summons Newdoria, swings into my face down, but I torrential on the summon. Set 2 and pass. He summons Newdoria again, but I Raigeki break. This is the point where my Raigeki break is continuous, and once per turn I can discard a card and pop a card on the field. I wish. I flip summon Jowls of Darkness, which lets me steal his monster, basically use it against him. And it worked out because it was a Moth. And I was able to get a spell back, which was called the Mummy. Now every time he draws a card, he gets 500 because of Solemn. I then sacrifice the Jowls for Giant Mummy. Raigeki his field, swing for 17 and 12, and then Giant Mummy sets himself due to his effect. He's a pretty decent card in this format. He has a bigger booty than his attack. And not sure if Dark Thief Jing has announced it yet, but we had a gentleman's agreement. We're no longer going to be in the upcoming formats, sets. We're not going to be running Fairies Box. We banned that from each other, and we banned. There's another card. I can't think of it. He fissures away my board here. And then I get smacked for 17. Magic Cylinder, still a powerful card in any format. I flip my own monsters, steal his, and then he forfeits. Alright, during Dark Thief Jing and Talon Claws match, Dark Thief Jing chooses to go second. Talon Claw sets 2. Dark Thief Jing sets a card, then sets Spirit Reaper. Seven color fish into Spirit Reaper. The battle doesn't go through due to Spirit Reaper's effect, but Fissure is going to pop the Spirit Reaper. Dark Thief Jing then decides to sacrifice both of his opponent's monsters to summon Lava Golem, and then Swords of Revealing Light to protect him from that Lava Golem. Then Lava Golem's going to proceed on Talon's main phase to burn him for 1k, and each consecutive main phase after that. Dark Thief Jing then sets a card on his next turn. His clock goes to 2 on Swords. Talon burns for another 1,000. Swords are gone. Thief Jing sets another card, Needle Sealing, and ends his turn. Talon burns for another 1,000 and summons Gemini Elf. He then decides to go all offensive and swing with the Lava Golem into the Gravekeeper, which then pops the Gemini Elf back to the hand. Dark Thief Jing, he sets a Cyber Jar. And Talon swings into it with a Gemini Elf, but he gets Needle Sealing. Cyber Jar then flips and activates. Gets a Barrel Dragon to the hand. Sky Scout to the Sky Scout zone, and Ancient Gear. I cannot remember his name. Gear Free, the Iron Knight, I believe it is. Yeah, there we go. Dark Thief Jing Dark Holes the board, goes into Bazoo, sets some more cards. Talon then draws. Nobleman's his face down, but he magic drains? No, he killed the magic drain with the Nobleman, and then summons Bazoo. Kaiko. Got my names all messed up right now. I'm all discombobulated. Thief Jing sets a card, passes his turn. 7 color fish hits the field on Talon's field. He Mitchizers away his Kaiko, and then takes an 1800 direct. Sets 2 and passes. Kaiko re-enters the field. 18 at 2k. Then gets another Gravekeeper special summoned. Sacrifices 2 for Barrel Dragon. Tries his luck. Unfortunately gets 2 tails. Enters battle phase. Swings at the Kaiko. Mitchizers away the Barrel Dragon. And then fissures away the 7 color fish, but Talon's able to save it by flipping it face down. In return, he magic drains away the fissure and makes the 7 color go away, but then takes a direct attack from Opticlops next turn anyway. Then he sets a card and passes. Gemini Elf hits the field. 18 at the Moth. He takes the Dark Hole. Sorry, 19. And then 18 direct. Dark Holes the field. Summons Sky Scout to the Sky Scout zone. Unfortunately, it gets flipped. But it gets saved by Imperial Order. So now Talon's down to 200. And then the Gyragumo was about to smack him hard, but he got Raigeki braked, and Talon forfeited the rest of the match. For game 2, Dark Thief Jing went first, set 3, and passes, while Talon sets 3 and summons Opticlops, swings into a Spirit Reaper, and passes his turn. Thief Jing sets another card, passes his turn. Everybody should know Spirit Reaper, but he can't be destroyed by battle. But if he's targeted by a card effect, he pops himself. Thief Jing sets another card, passes his turn. They're just setting a bunch of cards. Talon swings with the Gemini Elf into the face down on the left. And Thief Jing uses Needle Sealing to kill his board of face-ups. He summons a Spear Dragon. It gets Trap Hold. Flip summons a Bazoo. Proceeds to banish 1, 2, and swing for 2100. Unfortunately, it's a Nimble Momonga, which summons 2 more Nimble Momongas face down and gains himself 1,000 life points. He summons a Kaiko and Book of Moons the Bazoo. Swings into the Bazoo. Thief Jing flips over the Gravekeeper, getting another Gravekeeper. Swings into the face down Momongas, gaining him 2,000 more life for Talon. Main phase 2, he sacrifices both of his Gravekeepers for Barrel Dragon, but it gets banished from Bottomless. Talon then summons a Gemini Elf and swings with Gemini Elf and Kaiko. And Thief Jing tries to Dark Hole, but gets magic drained, summons the Sky Scout to the Sky Scout zone, crashes Sky Scout, and then Mitchizers the rest of the field. Tries to Nobleman again, but gets magic drained. Talon sets and passes. Thief Jing looks like he's in trouble at this point. He moffs. And Raigeki break goes off. He gets smacked by a moth. Sets a Dust Tornado. Sky Scout gets summoned to the Sky Scout zone on the opposite side of the board. And he gets hit by another moth and a Sky Scout. Thief Jing then forfeits that match and decides to go second. Talon sets a card, passes his turn, while Thief Jing swings into the Momonga with Hysteric Fairy, and Talon gains 1,000 while getting 2 more Momongas. Talon summons the Gemini Elf, swings into the Hysteric Fairy, and at this point he has his field flooded with 4 monsters, so Thief Jing uses Needle Sealing to destroy all the attack position monsters. Talon passes. He sacrifices both Momongas for the Lava Golem and passes his turn. Talon turns the Lava Golem to attack position, summons an Opticlops, attempts to swing with the Lava Golem and the Opticlops, and Dark Thief Jing takes 3k there, which is pretty brutal. Talon then activates a Raigeki, but gets magic drained. Summons another Opticlops, swings 3k into Moth, and Moth gets him Cold Wave, and then Opticlops direct attack, 21 into 18, but now he's a 19 permanently. And Talon's playing all big boys over here with Gyragumo now. Gyragumo, he's going to get the call correctly, and Thief Jing's going to forfeit his match there. Now, back to me versus Talon. I set 3 in pass. He sets 1 in pass. I set another one. Flip my Poison Mummy, which is going to inflict 500 to him. I'm going to swing my Poison Mummy, gain him 1,000, get him 2 Momongas. He fissures away my Mummy. Summons the Kaiko, but I Raigeki break him. I flip my Jowls, steal his Mamanga. Sacrifice his Mamanga for the Axe Mummy. Swing my Axe Mummy into his Mamanga, gaining him 1,000, and then swinging 200 direct attack. And I misplay here. My Axe Mummy, I should have sent him to defense, but I misplayed, which didn't matter. It wasn't costly. Lose my Jowls there. Set the card. Gets 2 Gravekeepers. My Jowls is now in defense. Sacrifice 1 for Dark Ruler. Swings Dark Ruler at the Jowls. Fairy Box. Fairy Box works. And he takes 2k. And then he Mitchizers away my Axe Mummy anyway. He sets a card and passes. I Book of Tayo to flip his cards. He gets a fissure. I summon Dark Geroid. I make his Moth 0 and swing 12 basically direct attack. He sets a card, passes. I Raigeki his field, flip my Axe Mummy, swing for 17 direct, flip him into face down. Set a card, he sets a card. Swing 17 into 19. He returns my Axe Mummy to my hand. I take 200. He summons 7-color fish. Swings the 7-color fish. I call wrong. And I take 1,800. Then I pay for the fairy box. Pass my turn again. But I gravity bind this time. Now level 4s and higher can attack. I then Pot of Greed. Draw 2 cards. Set 1 and end my turn. He sets a card, ends his turn. I draw. Flip my Jaws of Darkness, steal his 7-color fish, sacrifice his 7-color fish to set a card. I keep paying for that fairy box. Then I decide not to pay for fairy box. I try to swords him, but he magic drains it. I summon King Tiger Wangu. Change my Joust to defense. He passes his turn. I set and pass my turn. He passes his. I set and end my turn. He sets a back row and ends. I flip the scarabs, popping his Gravekeeper. Then the scarab flips itself back down. Sets another card. I sacrifice my King Tiger for the Dark Dust Spirit, but it gets trampled. But its effect still goes off, so it pops the field of face-ups. I flip the scarabs, swing for 500, and it flips face down. I draw, I set, I flip the scarabs, I swing for 500, and the scarabs flip face down. He draws. I set, flip the moth. At this point, I select. I believe I take Pot of Greed here. No, I took Book of Taya. And he magic drains the Book of Taya. I swing with Moth and I swing with the scarabs. And for some stupid reason, I do not flip my scarabs face down. I flip Swarm of Locusts, which pops a back row, and attempt to pop the Book of Moon, but he Book of Moons my scarabs. Nobleman's my middle card there, which is bottomless, so now he has to get rid of his bottomless as well. But he has it set. It's one of his 2 cards there. I sacrifice my New Doria that was face down for a card, and I set all my cards to defense and pass my turn. He sets a second card. I draw. Need to get him for 800 damage, and it was a struggle. I flip my cards to start popping cards on his field. I swing 300 into his 17 just to know what that is. Take 1400. In the process, fissure away the Opticlops. And then he Raigekis me. Summons a Gyrogumo. Torrential Tribute it, because I would have died. I Dark Gyroid. Fissures my Dark Gyroid. Sets another card. He sets another card. We're scared to swing at each other. I flip Poison Mummy, burn him for 500. Activate Book of Moon, set my Poison Mummy. And he flips Gravekeeper, which then sends the Poison Mummy back to my hand because he would have got burned out there. I'm Monster Reborn. The Scarabs. Sacrifice. Wait, no. I set the Poison Mummy, and he passes the game to me. I would have burned him out there. He sets a card, summons the Sky Scout to the Sky Scout zone in round 2. I set 2 cards, and summon Dark Gyroid, taking his Sky Scout down to 1000 for the turn, but he Book of Moons me. sacrifices the Sky Scout for Dark Ruler Hades. I Raigeki Break It. I Book of Life my Partition of Darkness back, because it's a zombie. And I banish his Dark Ruler, I believe, from the grave. Yeah. I then swing 12 and 2k at him. He top decks a Pot of Greed. Sets 2 cards, activates Fissure, kills my Dark Geroid, and I sacrifice my Perdition for a set card, I believe, there. Gemini. I don't know what happened there at all. I'm confused. I don't know what I did there. But unless I had a Monster Reborn in the grave, and I just said verbally to save clicks, I'm getting Monster Reborn, I'm reborning the partition. I don't know what happened. But he magic drains me anyway, so I believe my partition... No? What? I'm so confused. He gains 1,000 life points there. My Axe Mummy goes to defense. He gets 2 more Momongas. I let him gain 2,000 life points there. My Axe Mummy refuses to go to face down defense again. He spiritualisms my face down, which sends it to my hand. He summons Gyragumo. Swings Gyragumo at my partition. I can target which card it goes to. And I activate Fairy Box. And I call it correctly, so he takes 17 because I redirected it at my Giant Axe Mummy. I set 2, swing with the Giant Axe Mummy, and swing with the Partition of Darkness. And he passes game to me.